Just making sure none of this is lagging or anything because I'm on this third-party setup here. So give me 1 second, guys. All right. I think we're good. What's going on, everybody? Just wanted to hop on live here, and we're going to, have some call-ins. And for those of you who want to voice your opinion on this team or whatever and, drum up the conversation with the chat, we'll have some guys call in later. I'll drop the link in the live chat. You guys can come in. You can say whatever the hell you want. As of right now, I'm going to talk for a little bit, and then about, half an hour in, then we'll start letting some people in here and, speak their mind and everything and, whatever they would like to do. But other than that, we got some news going on here. For those of you in here, there's quite a few of you in here. Make sure to go vote on the poll about Shohei Ohtani, the latest stuff on him, the latest on Jeff, the latest on Pete, and all this news coming out so far right now in the last 72 hours-ish. But other than that, I'm going to roll the intro like we usually do, and we're going to get going. All right, let's go. Okay. All right, so for those of you watching right now, make sure to leave a like on the stream if you have not already. Follow us on TikTok as well. We actually started up doing a all-time Mets draft corresponded to one letter at a time. So there's like a few things that go in and out with that. We have done letter R as one episode. We did letter G, and I think we did another one for letter J. We have tons of those coming out on TikTok, and they have been blowing up. So thank you guys so much for that. You guys have been incredible with that support as well. So thank you for all of the support on all of these different platforms. Vince, Steven, what's going on, guys? For those of you who, have been following everything that's been going on recently, we saw that Jeff McNeil got extended to a 4-year, $50 million contract, and there is also a 5th-year club option that can bring it up to $63.75 million to be exact. And we just saw the contract be official. I believe right now they're actually having a press conference of introducing or reintroducing and announcing the entire extension right now for Jeff McNeil. So that's pretty cool. We can probably, listen in on that maybe. But at the moment, I saw the contract details. It looked like it was more backloaded, and he continues to get a raise every single year. That's basically what we're looking at for Jeff McNeil's whole entire thing. I saw John Heyman tweet something out about what he's going to be getting throughout all the years. Obviously, a team option in the 4th year. Let me just try and find it, and I can let you guys know of that. $6.25 million this year. $10.25 million in 2024. About $16 million in 2025 and 2026, and then 2027 has a $16 million club option for 2027, and that includes a $2 million buyout if the Mets obviously do not want to keep Jeff McNeil. So, I mean, we talked about this a few days ago about the whole situation with McNeil. I think it was a great move. I think it's a bargain of a contract, especially which, as of right now, it's more of a short-term deal and basically preserving his entire skill to his mid-30s, where we, as for all baseball players, we definitely see more of a drop-off, and that's something that basically becomes the concern. But Jeff McNeil, he's on the older side. He's going to be coming into a 31-year-old season. So I don't think it was, it was necessary to see, him just come in and be like, get a 6-year, 7-year deal for no reason. If he was a little bit younger it's possible, but I don't see that possibly happening. Good for Jeff McNeil. Very good, very versatile player. Yeah, I mean, again, I think that there was a price and there was a benchmark for that. And if, with any situation, I'd say that, you definitely obviously had a limit price with Jeff McNeil, him being in his 30s already, and going to free agency after next year. So he still has 2 years of control. So they buy out 2 years of control, add another 2 years, and then a possible third year added on to his 6-year control. So that's something that I think is what I expected. I expected 4 or 5 years. If they were to extend him, I would have had Pete as the priority, but that's obviously a different story. It looks like that's going to be a little bit more of an uphill climb. That's what it's really being described at from a lot of reporters right now, that, the extension talks for Pete Alonso, it's definitely going to be a little bit longer of a process than it is with Jeff McNeil. These are two different positions. These are two different players. And as for Pete Alonso, he's a lot more important to this roster than probably any position player besides, obviously, maybe Lindor or Nimmo or whatever. But Pete's a big part of this lineup. And that's something that we're definitely urging for the Mets to lock him down. And I think that if at this point, if they're locking down Jeff McNeil, I think the Mets have a huge motivation to lock down Pete Alonso as well. I thought that Pete Alonso had the better, I thought that Pete Alonso had the, advantage as to why he should be extended overall from Jeff McNeil or, anybody in that matter. That should have been the whole situation because, of how important Pete is to this team. And he's also younger, and this is a whole different ball game with Pete Alonso. So it makes understanding why a more long-term deal would not be done right away. Could we see Grant Hartwig play in 2023? I hope so. He's one of my favorite guys in that minor league system. I'm excited to see him. I think he has a very sexy slider. Shohei got to be a Met. If he's not, we're going to have a lot of backlash. I can tell you that right now. So I really hope they do, because of a lot of the situations where they've kind of looked like they were getting a star and it's kind of passed through, Correa, that whole situation. Let's not forget that. Even though everybody wants to put it away and go to positive vibes, it did happen. So will McGill and Peterson make the opening day roster? I think both of them will be on there. It depends what the Mets want to do with Carrasco, if they're looking to move him, because he's in a last year of a contract. They've obviously picked up his option. We saw about some reports about them having concerns about Carrasco holding up past the age of 35, where he kind of started to wither down afterwards. So that's something you can definitely think about. I think we know what the top four is going to be. It's a possibility that Shohei struggles as a starter, and maybe both of them are in the rotation. It's possible. Will Omar Narvaez be? I think he'll rewrite it. Okay. Let's hope the Braves don't take him. I don't think the Braves take Shohei. If they do, then it'll be surprising. Jeff McNeil just said that he's still waiting for his car from Francisco Lindor. So that's what we're seeing right now. Obviously, I'm just looking at the Twitter updates. His whole press conference is going on right now. I don't know if I'm allowed to bring it up here. But I will see. Okay. Just trying to stay with the Mets going on here. Anything else? Is Alexis Diaz on the Mets radar? We saw roster. He's not on the roster yet, but I hope he's on the radar. I think he's a pretty good young arm, obviously. More of it goes with the whole situation of him being related to Diaz, that whole connection there. Them being very similar type of pitchers, fastball, slider type of guys. I'd love him, but, what is it, 4 years of control you're looking at right now for Alexis Diaz? So it's not going to be cheap of what you give up for possibly getting him. And, they could sign him as a free agent, but that's a little bit longer down the line. 75% of you right now are saying that you would give $500 million to Shohei Ohtani next offseason. Why didn't they release Ruff yet? For some reason, they believe in Ruff. And we'll get into this a lot more in this week's podcast of the whole situation with Ruff and them more believing into that. Will Omar Narvaez be in the opening day? Okay, so I think Narvaez catches the first game, but, I'd say that they're both kind of the same level of player, even though Narvaez had a lot more offensive success, a few years ago. Both amazing defensive catchers. Both of them have great relationships with their pitchers. I think the main question is who starts opening day on the mound, whether it's Verlander or Scherzer. That remains to be seen. So we don't know yet. Whoever Verlander wants, or will it be Scherzer? I mean, I don't know. Will it be Verlander or Scherzer? I think it'll probably be Verlander. But Scherzer has started on opening day before too, so that's the benefit of having two aces. So, let's say, they're both older, let's say one of them, God forbid, gets hurt in spring training. Another one can step in on opening day. So that's the whole situation. Make sure to leave a like on the stream if you have not already. Good problem to have, absolutely. I mean, if opening day, to be honest, and this is somewhat of a hot take, if opening day was at Citi Field, if opening day was at Citi Field, I probably would just put Senga on the opening day mound, to be honest. Not a bad idea, in my opinion. Remember when we wanted Liam Hendricks? I still do. I wish him the best, obviously. The unfortunate news with him kind of sucks. I would still take him right now, but obviously he's not going to be pitching for a while. But I wish him the best in his recovery. But guys, let me know. Would you guys, if opening day was at Citi Field, I believe they're starting in Miami, going to Milwaukee afterwards, and then they have their home opener, which is, I think, April 12th, April 13th, something around there. But guys, let me know, if opening day was at Citi Field, would you put Kodai Senga on the mound for the first game? Featuring your top guy that you brought in free agency. Obviously, they brought in Verlander too, but the new attraction. Would you put Kodai Senga on the mound? Let the guy take the bright lights at the beginning. Right from the start, let him take the bright lights. Let's see what he's made of. I mean, there's the whole. Remember that I understand. It's going to be different when he comes to the U.S. and pitches here. But remember that this kid's he's 30 years old now, so he's already 30 years old. So he has experience. So I wouldn't say, it's he's young and he, shouldn't put that much pressure on a young kid. But we'll also get to see him in spring training because he will not be playing in the World Baseball Classic. He's going to get to know the organization. So imagine he throws a no-no on opening day. I mean, from what I've seen, he has the strikeout stuff to do it. And it seems like he's also incredible at managing contact, which is one of the biggest keys to throwing a no-hitter. People say it's strikeouts, but it's actually managing contact because it keeps the pitch count low. He threw a no-no once. I kind of want to see that, actually. Is there a video of that on YouTube of like him throwing a no-hitter in Japan? I'd love to see that. No. Somebody DM it to me. Most likely Ohtani isn't leaving the West. I think he'll go wherever the money goes. I personally don't see anybody trading. I personally don't see anybody trading for him because I don't think anybody wants to take the risk of it being, a 60-game rental. Unless they have full on confidence that they're going to be able to extend him before he even hits free agency. And I'm more confident in obviously Soto going to free agency than Shohei, but Shohei is the biggest attraction, on the market right now. It's almost common sense as to why he would not hit the free agent market. If you understand what I mean there. Like, he's the biggest he's the big attraction. This is, we're talking about a generational type of player who can hit the ball 100 miles an hour and throw the ball 100 miles an hour. So this is quite the attraction. This is a two-way player here. So I'm interested to see what he does get on the free agent market. I'm interested to see what his market is. I'm interested to see what Soto's market is as well. Dodgers trade. Does San Diego even have pieces left anymore? I think the Dodgers could trade for him if they were desperate. I don't think that they're going to be desperate, and I think that they've been quiet for a reason because of Shohei Ohtani, obviously. And that's going to be I believe that's going to be the bidding war. Obviously, the Mets and the Dodgers. And we'll see if they come out victorious in that whole situation, because so far they haven't. Obviously, they've definitely, I don't know. There's been something missing still, and that's something that I don't. Well, we'll see. I don't know. I think that's something to look at. Obviously, that's obviously something to look at. Again, this is just rumors that are heating up right now. This is going to be talked about for the next 365 days, no matter what. So whether it happens right now and the Mets trade for him out of the blue, or whether it happens at the trade deadline, or it happens next offseason, this is going to be a main attraction. The Mets have their connections. We know that Steve Cohen has already reportedly talked to his upper guys about possibly going after Ohtani this winter. And they have the flexibility to do it. We know that they do. We know that Billy Epler was the GM that believed in him from the start and signed him as an international free agent. So you see another arm in the bullpen, lefty for sure. If they do bring in another bullpen arm, it'll probably be a lefty. And the market's definitely, I wouldn't say it's slowed down, but I'd say that the talk about that, the talk of that has definitely died down a little bit. The Mets, we saw that they were in the mix for that. For Andrew Chafin, we saw them connected to Zach Britton. We saw them connected to Alex Reyes, who's not a lefty. And then we also saw them connected to some guys on the trade market who I'm not recalling right now, but that's what we've been seeing so far. So I hope that they add another arm. I would like them to, because there's some guys in that pen still that I don't really trust. Drew Smith being the number one guy. $575 million. I mean, if he was younger, he'd probably get something around that, to be honest, with how valuable of a player he is. But I'd say the max would be $500 million. You know, the Mahomes contract, shall we say? What is that? 10 years, 503. That's something that you can look out for. With Shohei Ohtani, I'd say that's in the ballpark of it. I wouldn't say that that's completely going to happen, but you know, don't be surprised if it's not $50 million a year. Don't be surprised. That's what I would say. Because remember, Max Scherzer got $43 million as an AV. I mean, again, as a strictly an AV, I'm not talking about term right now, but it's strictly AV. Max Scherzer, who's older, who's just a pitcher, doesn't hit, right? Doesn't hit anymore because, pitchers can't hit anymore. So, and he got $43 million. So you have Shohei Ohtani, who has pitched like an ace recently. He has been an incredible hitter as well. So the value is definitely up there. I would not be surprised, again, if he does get a contract that Patrick Mahomes did get. What was that? It was 10 years. 10 years, $503 million. Was that what Patrick Mahomes got? Again, different sport, different situation. Imagine a $1 billion contract. I don't see that happening in any time soon, but you know what? With how crazy these contracts have gotten, yeah. Who knows? We all know who would give out that type of contract if it were to happen. But that's the whole situation right now. 10 years, $450. That's what Patrick Mahomes is getting. Who do you think could most likely get it? That's a long time down the line. The market, again, I don't see that happening at all, but because obviously you have the two different overpays of AAV and term. So, I mean, if somebody were to get that, let's say someone were to get a $1 billion contract, I don't think that player is even in the minors yet. I don't think anybody is there. 12 years for Ohtani. How many years do you think he pitches and hits? That's another thing you got to see, like, if he's going to be healthy to do both. He is a relatively young free agent. He's going to be, at the typical age of 29, I'm pretty sure, right? 29 when he's a free agent. He's not relatively young. He's not relatively old. So you're at a pivot point of his career of how long is he going to provide that double agent value. That's another thing you do have to consider. Again, I mean, he obviously gives you elite value from both sides, but I think that we'll see what happens. What happens when Ohtani blows his arm out? When are you rooting for him to blow his arm out? I mean, listen, if that's what you're rooting for, I mean, go ahead. I don't judge, but kind of weird question. Could could be eventually an expensive DH. He could be. He definitely could be. And again, if he does not pitch throughout his entire career, he probably will move to another position to provide value for what he's actually going to get paid for. Do you think Alonso will hit, I'm pretty sure you're saying 600 home runs? Well, if he were to play, if you guys do want to do some math here, we could do it because numbers are fun. Well, right now, in his career, Pete Alonso, he is currently 28 years old. Obviously, typical pace. He's at a typical season from him is most likely 40 homers a year, correct? If he were to do that until age 40, right, he's got 146 right now. And you put that over, let's say, actually, you know what? Yeah, okay, so let's say that he plays until he's 40. So that would be about a 17-year career. So that puts him about... Whoa. Okay. Oh, come on. Clear. Stop doing that. Okay. So about 70. So if he were to hit 40 home runs every single year, you put him at 680 career home runs. I doubt that happens, but I can tell you right now, if he were to have a 17-year career, let's say we go 146 and divide it into the amount of plate appearances that he has, which is 2,254. And then you, let's see, you multiply it by 650, which is a full season. That's about 42 a season. Multiply that by a 17-year career, which would put him to age 40, and that puts him at 715.7 home runs throughout his entire career. Again, that's on the entire pace of him guaranteed to hit 40 every year. But we all know that he's going to be along the lines of 35 to 45 his entire career. And again, power hitting first basemen, usually they aren't healthy throughout their entire career. But as for Pete Alonso, he's been relatively healthy so far. So he's just got to keep that up. So could he break Barry Bonds, is what you're saying? Probably not. If he came in at age 20 and age 21, maybe. If they continue to juice the balls, I'd say that he could get to 600. But I would say that if you're counting just his prime years, let's say the next 8 years, the next 9 years, possibly even 10, I'd say he could get to 500, definitely. Yeah, I know. I'm just giving you a hard time. But yeah, that would be two big holes to fill from injury. Just saying. Yeah, true. But hopefully they have somebody in the farm system that could be a replacement. Again, and that's a long time down the line. The Mets want to replenish this farm system, and that's something that they've definitely urged to do. And obviously those big bats and those big guys, you have Alvarez and you have Beatty and all these guys. And, I think that at this point, we're starting to see that the Mets are trying to load up a farm system. They definitely had a very big top-heavy one before last year's draft, a good, relatively top 5. Now they have a quality top 10, and now they're going to just try and continue to obviously branch that out, and that's what they're going to do. Obviously, being over the Steve Cohen tax right now brings down the draft slots, but, with this full-on scouting stuff, that they have seemed to really invest a lot into. We'll see what happens. Should we go after Manny Machado? If they whiff on Ohtani, I would say you go for Machado. Machado is a Boris client, so I think that his market's going to take a lot longer than Shohei Ohtani's. Again, Shohei Ohtani is a one-of-a-kind player, so maybe it swaps, who knows? But I think that if you go after Shohei Ohtani, if Shohei Ohtani is your main priority, which I think should be, he's younger, provides a lot more value, he's on the mound, he's also at the plate. Again, like I said, he can hit 100 miles an hour, and he can hit the ball 100 miles an hour, and he can throw the ball and pitch 100 miles an hour. So obviously a lot more value there. If you whiff on Ohtani, you go for obviously Manny Machado. He'd be the next one on there to possibly get some power protection around Pete and get that big bat in the lineup. Obviously. Shohei Ohtani. You have Shohei Ohtani, and then with the whole Manny Machado situation, you look at what Beatty did last year, obviously. What did Brett Beatty do? Did he perform to the expectation? Was he a Rookie of the Year candidate? Is he a buyout arbitration type of guy where you could extend him and give him like a 10-year deal and buy out his arbitration years like what the Braves do? Is he one of those candidates? If he's not, in my opinion, in addition to Shohei Ohtani, you get Matt Chapman as well. He's also on the market as well. So that's another thing you can look at. I think that Matt Chapman would work as well because personally, I don't think that they're just one big game-changing bat away from being this high-powered offense in this modern day. Sure, Shohei would help a lot, but there still are weaknesses. And again, a lot of what they do on the free agent market is going to determine what goes on with these prospects. And it looks like that's what they're banking on right now. And again, maybe there is another trade for a bat that we don't know about. It's possible, but who knows? Manny Machado is lazy. Manny Machado is a perennial MVP candidate every single year, so he can be lazy all he wants. If he's going to perform to a 6-win player every single year, then I'd definitely take that. He's obviously a little bit older, and it's probably the reason why it made sense to do Correa, but yeah, whatever. 50 views on TikTok. Yep, 50K views on TikTok. Guys, if you haven't seen that already, we have me and my co-host, Andrew, who is in the chat right now. We did an all-time Mets draft corresponding to one letter, and we just continue to be doing that series. We've done 3 episodes. 3 episodes are out already. I think we have like 4 other recorded as well, so I'll be putting those out. Obviously, maybe 2 or 3 coming out the week. So for those of you who are longtime Mets fans and want some nostalgia relating to one specific letter of all-time Mets, there you go. Is there a reason why I'm seeing Japanese, or is this Japanese? I don't know if this is Japanese, but I don't know what language is this, but I don't know what you're trying to tell me. Ohtani brings an all-Japanese audience. I mean, I hope Kodai Senga does as well. If anything to grow the game again. But that's a whole situation. That means Manny Machado. Okay. Sorry, I don't have a translator in front of me right now. So, sorry. But yeah. Okay. So, I'm just going to refresh this right now so I don't have a whole thing glitching out when I keep going from tab to tab because I know how sensitive this thing can be. Okay. We're about a half hour in here. Half an hour in here, so I think we'll start up the call-ins. For those of you who want to come in, give your opinion, trash the team, praise the team, do whatever the hell you want. This is your time now. So I'm going to open it up for you guys. Let me just get this whole thing situated. You guys might see some stuff here. Let me get rid of this. All right, I can get rid of that. And hold on. Yes, I just want to stop that. Okay, and then there we go. Let me know if you guys second. Sorry. I have to switch things over. Okay. I think we're good now. All right. Let's say that Ohtani goes to the Mets, and one of the things he requests wants the team's limited interviews again. I mean, I don't know. How would fans react? I don't think it's really the fans of how they react to that. I really think that it's more of just a whole situation as to how the media reacts to that whole situation. And we all know how the New York Mets media and just New York media in general can be. So, I mean, that's just a point that I don't think you really need to get to as of right now. But, you know, there's tons of T's that need to be crossed and tons of I's that need to be dotted as well with the whole situation with Shohei. And that's just it. But, all right. So for those of you watching right now, I'm going to pin our link to where you guys could call into the show. Okay, just wondering, since he's a simple guy, wants everything to fly on the radar. I mean, that was the whole situation with Jacob deGrom, but obviously that time is obviously past. So call-ins are now open for those of you who want to come in here. These huge contracts should be contingent on playing time. Yeah, of course. Again, as long as he doesn't do anything illegal, I don't really think anything is really a hard situation. All right. Just making sure if there's any news out here. Chad Green and the Blue Jays. Chad Green and the Blue Jays were in an agreement on a 2-year deal, $8.5 million. All right, so guys, I'm going to lay down some ground rules for this whole situation. I'm a very easygoing guy. There's not really much that offends me at all, but I will tell you right now, don't come on here to just, act like an ass. If you act like an ass, I'm going to treat you like an ass, and that's pretty much the whole situation. So we've got Ron here. Ron, what's going on? You got a mic, man?
Yeah, I think I do. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can kind of hear you. Chat, let me know if you guys can hear this guy. Your mic is a little bit quiet. I'm going to try to adjust it here. Let me make sure I can. All right. All right. Let me know if you're
Oh, it sounds good now.
you guys can hear him? Okay, I'm just adjusting my thing here. All right, I should be good. I should be able to hear you pretty well. All right. Well, he'll come back, I guess. Okay. You guys can hear him? All right. Cool. So I guess it was just me. Any thoughts on his New Balance deal? I mean, Lindor did congratulate him. So, the whole saga begins of that whole situation. Yeah, okay. You guys heard him? Okay. So it probably was just me. I think I didn't have my volume up completely. But for those of you who do want to call in, feel free to. Anybody see a commercial during the Sunday game? What do you think that's all about right now? I think that's just a ticket promo. I think that's the whole situation. But yeah. Give McNeil his car. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Lindor wanted to own up to it. He still hasn't gotten him his car, so I don't know. We'll see. Anybody see the commercial during the game Sunday? Yeah, I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything. Chad Green. Okay. All right, so Jeff McNeil, he said the New York Mets are the only team that I know. That's where I want to be. New York is my home. All right. Yeah, it's just marketing the Mets pretty much. It was a $7 million commercial slot, so it makes you really think that the whole situation with that is, how much these Super Bowl commercials and playoff commercials actually cost to get that slot. It's crazy. It really is. Obviously, it's pocket change to Cohen, but that's crazy. All right. I'm just making sure I didn't miss any news going on here. Squirrel. Yeah, I can probably, I don't know if I can pop, I don't think I can pop it up or something because they go real quick here. So I'm just trying to bring in as many quotes as I possibly can from this whole presser. And that's what we're looking at. That's it. Like, that's really it. Because YouTube can be very critical with this whole situation. Okay. We need to trade Darren Ruff for Will Smith. I think Will Smith is a free agent right now, so I don't think they can trade for him, but I would trade him for a box of cookies at this point. I really am not I'm really not very high on him doing really anything, but it looks like the Mets are going to see what he's got in spring training, and that's the whole situation. Not a Mets question, but are you excited for the WBC? I mean, it's kind of a Mets question because a lot of the Mets are going to be participating in it. But yeah, 100%. I can't wait. We need Will Smith, the pitcher. Yeah, the pitcher. I think he's a free agent right now. The lefty, yeah. I would take him. I mean, if the Mets want to get him, go ahead. I have no problem with Will Smith. All right. Okay. So for those of you who want to call in and talk talk about the Mets and talk negative or talk positive about them, the link is currently pinned in the live chat. For those of you, there's quite a few of you in here, so if you guys want to voice your opinion, go ahead. Currently, we don't have anyone queued up. We had someone, but they just left, so I don't know what went on there. But for those of you who do want to tune, come on in and call in. It's all for you guys. This is your space, and that's the whole situation right now. Making sure. Use. Okay. I just want to missed any other shit. What's my opinion on rhinos? They suck. They kind of just suck. So for those of you who are in here who have not hit the like button, please do. That'd be greatly appreciated. Subscribe to the channel. We have content that comes out every day, whether it's here or TikTok or Twitter or whatever it is. All those links are in the description below. If you guys have not already, we have some, community updates that come out, throughout the week. I try to get some stuff out there as much as I can. But that's what's going on here. Yeah, I'm not sure if the call-in show is going to be this exact day. Again, I'm going to designate one day for one of those. It's going to be one of the middle of the weeks, whether Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. But I've not decided what day is going to be the official day of this. So it could be on Tuesday. It could be on Wednesday. It all depends. No one knows right now. Nothing in the air right now. Okay. Okay. All right. So for those of you in the chat right now, let me know. Obviously, we have the poll here. But let's say Shohei Ohtani, Manny Machado next year. Where would you turn if the Mets were to whiff on both of them? Let me know. Obviously, Matt Chapman is one of those situations. They have, it's quite the free agent class, actually. So I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to actually pull this thing up because there's too many of them to count, obviously. But 2024 free agency is quite the class, I can tell you right now. Obviously, we have a few guys on we have a few guys, obviously, with some player options. Max Scherzer is one of them. Manny Machado, there's strong rumors that he will opt out of that. Marcus Stroman has a player option as well for next year. Javier Baez. You have some club options. Joey Votto, Charlie Morton, Michael Conforto has a player option as well. It is quite the class here, so we'll see. Obviously, the Shohei Ohtani being the top attraction right now. Gonna refresh this. Okay. Well, I mean, okay. Gathering some stuff right now. Okay. Chad Pinder to the Reds. Kodai Senga is now 30. Okay, so I'm gonna run it to the hour mark, and then I'm probably gonna hop off in case there's anybody else who wants to call in. It does not look like there's many people really looking to call in, so I don't know if this will be the official day. I want to obviously get the conversation going here, but what happened to my other channel? I mean, it still exists. I just don't post on it anymore. I don't think I will. I don't know if it's ever again. It's possible I do. But this Mets Weekly channel is pretty much my main thing right now. And it's been continuing to grow, and thank you guys so much for that, and I appreciate it. But yeah. Okay, let's go Mets. Exactly, let's go Mets. No other way to put it. Okay. Gene Segura is the cover athlete. His teammate is. His teammate is now the cover athlete, which I don't know how to feel about. I'm not as upset about anybody else because I don't really play that many games anymore, but I kind of understand why people are kind of upset about it. There's probably was some better options there, but oh well. Okay. Marlins fucked up their team. I mean, they brought in, what do they have, like 3 second basemen now? Yeah, it looks like from giving away Miguel Cabrera. Yeah, I mean that's long ago, but yeah, the Marlins have never really looked to be a team of competence fully, but they do develop a lot of talent, and that talent definitely becomes some of the best in the game. They develop talent very well. Keeping it is not one of their strong suits, though. Goodness. Okay. Now, I do want to address one thing. We had a poll about who was your favorite member of the Mets Weekly panel. There's obviously 4 of us. There's me, there's Andrew, there's Frank, there's Tony, and apparently I was voted the favorite. So thank you guys for that. 47% of you guys have me as your favorite panelist. So thank you for that. And obviously we'll talk about that on the podcast, which I am expecting to have out on Sunday. We've obviously had a few drops of episodes where they've gone out on Monday. Some have gone out, on this. Frank has his own channel. Frank does have his own channel. Everybody has their own channel. But this is definitely the most active one. I can tell you that. Get this stupid thing to me. Gonna repost that. Okay. Okay. Sean Payton. I'm seeing some stuff about Sean. Did he go to the Broncos or something? That what we're looking at? Yeah. Wow. He's going to the Broncos. Wow. Good for Denver. I'm a Raider fan, so I could care less if they have actual success, but it's a good coach right there. So we'll see. It looks like Josh McDaniels is now the worst in that division. Lovely. Okay. All right. Okay. I think I'm going to hop this one off here. And we will be doing, obviously, some more call-in shows. But I do have a few other things that I do want to figure out with this whole thing. So I think we may be moving this to another day. But we'll see. But other than that, I mean, for those of you who tuned in, for those of you who like the stream, thank you. If you haven't already, please do. It's free. Subscribe to the channel. You can also follow us on TikTok, Twitter. All those links are in the description. You also can follow us all individually, the 4 of us. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna hop off, guys. We'll obviously go live for breaking news as we usually do. But other than that, I'll see you guys next time. Most likely will be for another video. So peace out, guys. Let's go Mets. And yeah, that's it. See you guys. Peace.